starting to record. Welcome to Radical Rocks Podcast. We're going to talk all about opal, geology, varieties, locations, how to mine it, how to get it, how to polish it.
On the first part of the journey, I was looking at radical rocks. There were fossils, minerals, and rocks and things. There were sand, hills, and rings. The first thing I found was a geocrystal, quartz with no clouds. Agate was hot and the ground was hard, but the gems were there to be found. See, I've been through the desert, found a rock with no name. Felt good to have in my hand. In the desert, you can find lots of rocks, 'cause radical rocks are everywhere.
That's right, radical rocks are everywhere, and today we are going to talk about a lot of them. We're going to talk about opal in great depth. We are going to go into the different varieties, types, the history, the culture,
Can't wait to
the
get
myths,
these home
the
and
geology,
make some cabochons.
all the physical properties, how it's mined, where you can go rockhounding for it, some values,
check out Radical
many
Rocks.
tips, how to take care of it, and so much more. So this is going to be all about opal. I had actually done this podcast earlier, and for some reason, it actually, the volume did a duplicate, so it echoed through the whole thing. I don't know why it did it. Maybe I opened it twice. So one of the things that I heard from comments is that I spent too much time on the obsidian beginning with just the one picture. So I apologize for that. I do this all by myself with no help at all. And my technical skills are limited. But I'm going to try and move the pictures around a little bit as I'm giving you all the information, all the educational information about opal and deep into opal, all about it. All right. I want to thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. That really helps us. I bought a camera a couple months ago, so that helps. Now I have to buy a chip for it and get it programmed and all that, so that'll be fun. But anyway, you can see me on all social medias. Just go to Radical Rocks or Radical Rocks USA. I've got a MeWe group and a Facebook group. So let's get right into it. The history of opal, okay? This is the historical history. Opal is a fascinating, it is a wonderful gemstone. Its name originates from the Sanskrit word Pala, meaning precious stone, showing its significance. Opals were treasured by civilizations like ancient Greeks and Romans, who believed they symbolized hope and purity. In medieval Rome, opals were considered good luck because they showcased the spectrum of colors of the rainbow. However, during the 19th century, they tend to face superstitions. Part of this started by Sir William Scott, in England, and he actually had some very bad success with his opal. People died, and sorry, it's just you can't really see me today, can you? He died, and people that he gave the opal to died. That's even worse, isn't it? One of these days, I'm going to get my studio going. I've been working on it forever. And so opal was associated with bad luck. That's just kind of the way it was. And even though, and then a lot of times opals break. They break, so they're associated with bad luck as well. And but that belief has generally faded, and opals are celebrated for their beauty and uniqueness, with Australia being a significant source of high-quality opals since the 19th century. The geology of opals, we're going to get right into that. It's fascinating. They are formed typically deep in the earth from silica-rich solutions that seep into cavities and fissures in rocks, typically sandstone, creating a hydrated form of silica gel. Over time, as the water evaporates, The silica solidifies, forming opal. The unique play of color in opals occurs due to the diffraction of light by tiny silica spears within the stone. Opal can form in a variety of environments, including sedimentary rocks, volcanic rocks, and even fossilized wood. Australia is renowned for its opal deposits, particularly in regions like Coober Pedley, Lightning Ridge, and Amuka. Other significant opal producing regions include Ethiopia, Brazil, and Mexico, but we will go into that a little bit later, deeper. The geographical locations of opal can be found throughout the world in different locations. Notable deposits are in the following: Australia, particularly significant opal producing regions, including Coober Pedley, which is Cooberpedy, Lightning Ridge, Andamuka, and Mintabi. Also, Ethiopia is a good, significant source of opal. You will know them for their vibrant colors. They're found in regions like the Wollo province, sometimes called the Willow province, but it's spelled Wollo. Brazil is another wonderful place where opals can be found, including fire opals, mined in regions like Quarantino and Jalisco. That's Jalisco. United States opals are found significantly in Nevada, Idaho, Oregon, and California. Peru, opal deposits are found in various regions, including the Andes Mountains. I have done some videos on some beautiful Peruvian opal. If you go back through the videos, you can see some of that. It's quite beautiful. And Indonesia is another spot where opals are found in areas like Java and Sumatra. These are the most significant locations, but opals can be found in various locations around the world, and sometimes in smaller amounts. The mining techniques of opal. Opal mining involves various techniques depending on the location and geological context. So let's go through some of these methods. Open pit mining, removing the overburden, the top layer of rock, exposing these opal bearing levels. Machinery such as bulldozers and excavators are used to get rid of the overlaying material, and then the miners manually can extract the opal bearing material. Shaft sinking. Sometimes the opal's deeper, like in Australia, and shafts vertically are sunk into the opal bearing layers. Also, they can extract the material from the walls of the shaft. Tunneling is similar to the sinking, but tunneling is going to be more horizontal, with audits or tunnels going into the opal bearing rock. The method allows miners to access opal deposits without having to dig the deep vertical shafts in the case of horizontal deposits. Hydraulic mining, not used too much. Water jets can be used to break up opal bearing rock and expose ore deposits. The resulting slurry of water and rock is then processed to get the opal out. Open pit mining, kind of like open cut, huge areas, sometimes machinery. Explosives might be used to remove the surrounding rock, but opal is fragile, so they wouldn't use it directly on the opal. Hand digging, this is the way I prefer. Small operations where machinery doesn't make sense. You've got to get in there and hand dig, picks, shovels, and other hand tools. It all depends on how you want to do it. It varies in efficiency, cost effectiveness, environmental impact, and things like that. Also, the size and depth of the deposit is also another varying factor. Let's get into the physical properties of opal. As we look at another picture here, we can talk about the many different varying, unique physical properties of opal. The colors are vast. You will notice in some of these photos, there's every color of the rainbow, exhibiting hues that change with the angle of observation. This can be fine opal and caused by the diffraction of light as it passes through the microscopic silica spears, or spheres, properly said, inside the opal. Sometimes microscopic particles of water are inside the opal and cause the light to refract through there and brings out the spectrums of the light, giving you all these various beautiful colors. Opal can vary in transparency from opaque, like milk, to translucent. Many opals may be translucent enough to see through, while others have a milky or cloudy appearance. Opals are not the super hardest. They're about 5.5 to 6.5 on the hardness scale. They can crack, scratch, and chip. Specific gravity of opal, 1.98 to 2.25. This property can help distinguish opal from other gemstones when conducting density tests. The structure of opal is composed of silica, SiO2, and NH2O. With a non-crystalline amorphous structure, its formation involves the deposition of silica gel within the cavities and fissures in rock, resulting in the characteristic play of color. Cleavage and fracture doesn't have a lot of cleavage. It doesn't break along distinct planes. It fractures conchoidally like glass, chips of curved glass, producing these shell-like surfaces when broken. The physical properties contribute to opal's unique beauty and make it a prized gemstone in jewelry and the lapidary arts. Various types and colors we will talk about as you view some of these pictures with various colors and qualities and types, varieties. Precious opal, this is a type that displays a play of color. Vibrant hues dance across the surface as the stone is moved. Precious opal can exhibit a wide range of colors, including red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet, as you see here. Common opal, it lacks a play of color. It doesn't refract light. It's not like precious opal. It is more opaque or translucent. It comes in a variety of colors, including white, gray, yellow, brown, or green. Common opal may sometimes display atherism, a phenomenon where a star-like pattern appears when the stone is illuminated. It also can do cat's eye type of a variation. Fire opal is characteristic by its vivid orange to red color. Remember, these pictures aren't correlating to what I'm talking about. I'm just going through giving you something interesting to look at while we educate ourselves on the finer points of opal. So fire opal has reds, a lot of play of color that makes it look as if it's on fire. Reds, oranges, yellows, those type of plays, purples, pinks, things like that are quite beautiful. Fire opal is often transparent to translucent and is valued for its intense coloration. I can tell you, if you are blessed enough to have opal that is clear with fire, that is a beautiful piece. That is a rare piece. But what is very rare and known to be rare is black opal. Black opal is a type of precious opal characterized by its dark body tone, which enhances the contrast of its brilliance play on colors. Black opal can display a full spectrum of color against its dark background, making it highly prized and valuable. White opal, this can be light white. We've already looked at a few pictures of it. Here's a small, clearer globule. But white tends to display softer pastel hues than the black opal. Crystal opal, here this is a clear opal, is transparent to translucent, allowing for a clear view. A play of color often has a colorless or slightly tinted body, which enhances the visibility of the spectral display, should it have fire inside of it. Boulder opal, this is typically a fire opal that has some play of color, but it is veinlets stringing through the boulder or the matrix of where the opal was formed in these cracks and crevices. Quite beautiful. Boulder opal forms with ironstone or sandstone matrix, creating natural patterns and textures to the stone. The opal veins within the matrix can display a play of color against the backdrop of the host rock, making it very pretty for jewelry and things like that. that has some earthiness to it that you can enjoy. The metaphysical properties claimed of opal. Opal's believed to possess a variety of metaphysical properties that is believed by some who use alternative healing practices and spiritual traditions. Here are some of the common beliefs, the more common ones. Emotional healing. Opal is thought to have a soothing and calming energy that can help alleviate emotional stress, anxiety, depression, and give or promote feelings of peace, happiness, and harmony. Creativity and inspiration is another trait attributed to opal, giving enhanced imagination and inspiration, believed to stimulate the mind and encourage innovative thinking, making it a valuable stone for artists, writers, and creative individuals. There's also the thought that it helps with spiritual growth and awakening, intuition, psychic abilities, spiritual awareness, helping people connect to their inner wisdom and higher self. Energy balance. Opal is thought to align the body and the center known as the chakras, promoting. Oh man, how do I turn that off? Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Thought to promote vitality and well-being. It's also thought to cleanse and purify the aurora, removing negative energy and promoting a sense of spiritual renewal. Love and relationships. It is associated with love, passion, emotional healing, and believed to strengthen a bond between partners, fostering understanding and empathy. Luck and prosperity. Opal is considered a stone of good luck and fortune, believed to attract abundance, success, prosperity into life, as well as opportunities for growth and positive change. So basically, it does everything in the world. Most importantly, though, it's beautiful and has symbolic significance that people believe is attributed to metaphysical benefits. I just think it's real pretty. How to shape and polish opal for jewelry and lapidary. Let's talk about this a little bit. And you want to first select a good opal. If you are cutting opal for the purposes of the play of color, such as fire opal, you will need to have the opal dry, and you will need to look for the seam of where the color play is. If you cut too far into that seam, or you cut into that seam, as you cut into it, you get rid of the fire. So it can be curved. It may not necessarily be flat. So this is a stone you really want to take your time on to cut and to polish. I did a video where I actually cut the opal with a Dremel and polish it. So you might want to watch that video and see how you can do that with just a Dremel. And I give all the suggestions of the tools and things like that. You need to be very careful though, because if you overheat the opal, it will crack. It is fragile. Keep it very, very wet and cool. You will want to make sure that your piece where you're cutting it doesn't have cracks and fractures. Inclusions can also compromise the integrity during this shaping and cutting period. If you are using a diamond cutting wheel, make sure that it is not a real rough, jagged diamond. This can crack and chip. I like to use on opal some 250 diamond wheel. Some people say use an 80. I like to go a little slower. I don't want it to chip. And then you go from that to 400 to 650. If you don't have any other polishing wheels, I would suggest if you have a really nice, good polishing set where you can go down into the thousands of grit, that's super fine, then do that. If not, you can go down to the 650 and then use like a tin oxide to polish it. So you will grind it down into shape with your wheels, your 250, getting the shape around it that you're going to use for your cabochon or your setting. You can use opal with prongs or in a cabochon silver bezel type piece of jewelry. And if it is a custom piece, you'll have to build your silver solder. In that case, you can look back. I've got some videos on how to custom make a bezel for a ring or a pendant or any type of jewelry like that that you want to make, and all the steps of soldering, so you can check that out as well. As you're polishing the stone, once it's finished, you've shaped it, you've made it into a cabochon. The higher the dome, the greater the chance of losing some of the refractive properties. So be careful what kind of stone you have. Some can get away with that, but the dome is usually not too highly tapered on an opal to maintain that the fire area. So polish it, use your polishing compound, circular motions to achieve a high gloss finish. Again, do not overheat the opal during the polishing process or any other process. It will crack. Final touches, you're going to want to look this over again. And I apologize, we've lost all of our opal photos. I tried to back up, but it doesn't want to. There we go. Not too bad. We'll get into some more pictures here, get into something interesting here. All right, so throughout the process, don't drop the opal, don't overheat it, don't get it too cold. Quick temperature changes will make it crack just like glass. It will fracture, it will chip. Opal likes to dry out. Well, a couple safety tips while we're at it. You can see this is some Boulder opal here. There's little veinlets inside of it. It could be a petrified wood that has taken on opal and agate. Now, when you're doing all this polishing and cutting, wear your mask, your goggles, and keep the material wet, okay? Be safe, do it right. Coarser opal, the white opal that's coarser, you don't want to use oil on that. You're going to want to use a water or some sort of a coolant. They have food-grade coolants that you can add to your water that you can buy on at a good lapidary supply. All right, care for opal gemstones and jewelry to help them maintain their beauty, their condition. You're going to want to store them separately from each other. If it's finished jewelry, don't let them click against anything else, not even other opals. You're going to want to, if they're loose stones, you'll want to wrap them in a soft cloth. If you're going to clean them, use warm soapy water and a soft brush or a cloth. Do not use chemicals or ultrasonic cleaners, for they will damage opal most likely. You never want to use steam on an opal. It will crack. That's a bad idea. Again, no chemicals, no cleaning things. Also, even be careful with your beauty products like lotions and perfumes. Some of those have harsh chemicals in them that can damage your opal. Regularly inspect your stones, especially when they're set. Look for chips, cracks, loose settings, or prongs, and address that. Avoid the extreme temperatures. If you come in from the cold and you're wearing opal and then you come wash your hands in warm water, or vice versa, it's hot, you come wash your hands in cool water, you could crack that stone. So make sure that you don't do that. If you're going to be sunbathing or using a hot tub or a spa, opal is not the stone you want to take with you, and don't do that. Gentle cleaning, again, mild soap, lukewarm water, soft brush. Store it separately, whether it be loose stones. If it is rough, you will want to store it in water. The reason people store opal in water, fire opal especially, is that it helps it to not chip and crack, and opal does dry out, especially fire opal, white fire opal with the white and then the fire, that will dry out and it chips and cracks very easily. So I would suggest if you have an opal ring, soak it in water overnight, and then you can rub like a Vaseline on it to help hold the water in. And every so often, after you clean it, soak it again and do that. That will help your opal last longer, and it'll help it not dry out and get so chippy and flaky. If you tap it against something else, you hit it against the wall or door handle or anything like that, it will crack. And again, one more reminder, never use ultrasonic. Where can we dig up opal? I would like to show you more opal, but the website is being very buggy. I apologize for that. So let's talk about where we can go rockhounding. Again, you will have to check to make sure everything is current, but I did some research recently. Australia is renowned for its opal deposits, with several famous opal fields open for public rockhounding. So that that is pretty nice. That is something that is a possibility that we could go and mine some opal at Coober Pedley, South Australia, known as the opal capital of the world. Coober Pedley offers opportunities for visitors to dig up opals in designated areas. Lightning Ridge, New South Wales, another famous opal mining area where tourists can find opals. How wonderful. Lots of places in the United States. Some are pay to dig. Spencer, Idaho. The opal mines in Idaho offer the chance to dig for opals in designated digging areas. Virginia Valley, Nevada, is famous for black opals. Man, that would be awesome to dig black opals. Visitors can dig for opals in designated public areas. In Mexico, Jalisco, which is Jalisco, and Querétaro, which is Queretaro, Mexico, are known for opals in these areas, and opportunities for rockhounds do exist in these areas, so I have seen according to my research. Ethiopia at the Wollo, or often called Willow, but it's Woll Providence, is wonderful deposits known there. Visitors can find opals in various colors, including vivid rainbow opals. Peru and the Andes Mountains. I wouldn't suggest going to Peru. It's a dangerous, kind of a dangerous area, but there is opal deposits there in various regions of the Andes Mountains, offering opportunities for rockhounding enthusiasts to search for these gemstones. So there might be some guides or something that could take you in the area safely, I'm assuming. So make sure you check the laws, have the proper gear, gloves, shovels, eye protection, and things like that, and leave the spot nice and clean. So let's talk about some rare opals here. Again, the site is being kind of buggy. I apologize. Some of the sites where rare types of opal exist, each with its own unique characteristic and qualities. Here are some notable examples. Black opal. This is probably the rarest and most valuable type of opal overall, characteristic by its dark body tone, which enhances the brilliance and contrast of its play of color. Black opal can display a full spectrum of color against its dark background, making it highly prized among collectors and enthusiasts. Crystal opal. We did look at a little bit of crystal that did not have color in it, but we'll try to look at some of those pictures if we get this internet to upload some of these photographs for us. It is colorless. Here is some that is almost clear. Let's look at this one. Beautiful, colorless to slightly tinted. I would say this is medium tinted, which enhances the visibility of the spectral of lights and the color. Crystal opal is highly valuable for clarity and vibrant colors. Hydrophane opal is a type of opal that is a unique property that is transparent to translucent when submerged in water. This, let me slide down here a little bit more. We should be able to go down quite a bit more here. This quality here is a phenomenon known to occur because of the opal's porous nature, which allows it to absorb water temporarily. Hydroplane opal can display a play of colors both when it is dry and when it is wet. So let me get rid of this. That might be slowing me down a little bit. And let's scroll down here. Okay, here we go. We're getting into some good stuff here. There's an opal globule. You can see the sphere there. You have some common white opal, which actually fluorescence. Here is a nice example of some fire opal. We'll get into some black opal in a little bit too. But yeah, that water opal is let's see. Okay, so we talked about the hydroplane opal. Now we're going to talk about Contra Luz opal. Contra Luz opal is a rare type of opal that exhibits a play of color when viewed against a light source. Unlike traditional opals, which display their color when viewed from above, Contra Luz opal reveals its spectral display when held up to a light source, such as the sun or a lamp. This unique effect adds to the opal's allure and value. So let me see here. and we don't want that one. Thanks a lot. And let's get on down here a little bit. Okay, there is some yellowish opal there, almost looks like it's from Chihuahua, Mexico. That's pretty. Okay, and then I saw some opalized wood. We talked about the wood, how it can be opalized. I hope I don't have to scan down every time for this. There's the opalized wood. Okay, Mexican water opal. This is another rare form of opal that is just beautiful if you ever get some. Very rare, characterized by colorless to translucent body and internal bubbles or inclusions that resemble water droplets. You can see some on the top of the page right there. Often cut into cabochons to showcase its beautiful internal features. Boulder opal, we did show you an example of the Boulder opal. The matrix that is veined through there. Here is there's a nice piece of Mexican, looks like a Mexican opal. It says Ethiopia though on that one, but it does look red. Red to orange is, there's the droplets that you see there, the water opal, looks like droplets of water. Let's see if we can find some nice black opal. Here is some opal on black right in here. Let's take a look at that. So the cost of rough opal, it is, so there's some opal mixed in there. That's not a true opal specimen. Anything that has opal is going to show up on this gallery, so bear with me. I saw so many wonderful photos on here, I had to share it with you. Let's see here. There's also opalized branches and pieces like that. Let's take another look down here for a couple nice pieces, and then I'm going to go over to Google and show you some of those. There's some, looks like opalized wood. There's a Boulder opal right there, really pretty. Check that out. Yeah, that's nice. Look at that, isn't that groovy? Some of the, they do make some fake opals. Here's a actually faceted opal. This would be more of your crystal to clear opal. This is very rare and expensive if you get the genuine stuff. This one here is man-made, but there are some natural ones that are available that have been cut into facets, but they're extremely valuable. They're usually cabochon for, here's a nice white opal right here, as big as the palm of the hand. Let's see if we can find some black. There's a nice piece right there. Birthstone opal. Here you have a piece of really clear galaxy opal, they're calling it. That's pretty cool. And then as we scroll down the page, not that page, this page, there's another one I wanted to show you right here. Look at this. This is virgin opal. Look at that. That's amazing. That's a real piece right there. The black opal just looks like it's lit, doesn't it? Doesn't it look like it's just lit up? So again, common opal, it's going to be cheap. You might pay for lower quality material a few dollars per carat. You could buy by the pound rough for $50 to $100 a pound for just common opal. Common opal doesn't have these flashes. You will see it in petrified wood. It will be a little bit more valuable. Just plain pieces of common opal are going to be cheaper. If they're drab kind of color and don't have a lot going on, of course they're going to be cheaper. So all of these vary depending on the quality and the rarity, and the color and the variety is all the difference in the prices that you will pay. Okay, so precious opal, again, this will be like these white ones that we see here with the play of color, such as this one, such as this one, such as these. They can range from $100 to several $1,000s per carat for nice stones, especially once they're already cut. You might get them cheaper in the rough, but the prices are going up all the time on opal. Here you've got some white common opal in here. There's not a lot of fire or anything in there. Moonstone is considered to be some type of an opal, quite pretty. This Australian opal right here is very blue and does have a lot of play on the light, even though it's not a genuine fire opal. Very nice. Here you can see that that has a look of water on one side. Doesn't look like it's going to be a huge picture. We'll try and blow that up. Black opal. Again, we've looked at a lot of black opal. Looks like there's a little fossil in there. That can happen. It's kind of rare, but it does happen. Fossils get fossilized in opal. And also branches, wood, and other items are opalized. So let's see if we can find opal wood. Okay. Black opal is very expensive, can go from several $100s to several thousands of dollars per carat. Spectacular specimens like some of the ones we've been looking at can go even higher. Boulder opal, the spectacular pieces, will demand a high price. Some of the more common things will be cheaper. I've seen Boulder opal for sale for $30 to $50 a pound for rough. Here's a beautiful picture here. The most valuable pieces of opal, the Virginia rainbow, we just looked at that. That was that big piece that glowed. That's a Virginia rainbow, one of the world's most valuable opals, known for its stunning play of color and vibrant hues. It was discovered at Cobar Pedley in the fields of South Australia and is estimated to be worth millions of dollars due to its exceptional rarity. This little piece here that you see, probably going to be worth several $100s, maybe even up to $1,000. Here's a wonderful display of Boulder opal right here. The fire opal of Australia is another famous opal specimen from the Cobar Pedley opal fields. It's about 998 grams. Intense play of color, yellows, oranges, reds, dancing across the surface. Considered one of the most valuable opals in the world. The Andamuka opal, of course, is from the Andamuka area in Australia. Quite beautiful, very rare, and it is worth a ton of money as well. Weighs over 203 carats, exceptional play of color, vivid blues, greens, and reds. The Andamuka opal is highly valued by collectors and considered one of the finest opals ever discovered. Here you've got some fine example of some opalized petrified wood. Here's another one. This is the common opal I was telling you about. This is stuff that you can find all over the place, this common white. It doesn't have much value. When it's in wood, it's a little better. It makes some really nice cabochons. I've seen it in colors pink, red, even purple. So very beautiful. The Aurora Australis is one of the largest and most valuable black opals ever found, and it is worth a ton of money. So yeah, if you ever get to go to Australia, I'm sure they have it over there in South Ridge. It was found in the Lightning Ridge in New South Wales and renowned for its dark body, brilliant play of color that includes vivid blues, and greens and reds. The Aurora Australis is estimated worth millions and millions of dollars. The Red Admiral is a rare and valuable opal specimen discovered in the Lightning Ridge opal fields, known for its deep red body, intense play of color, which includes vibrant reds, oranges, and yellows. Highly prized by collectors and worth millions and millions of dollars. So in closing, again, few tips. Keep it wet. Don't let it get hot or cold. Don't chip it. If you're going to cut it, look at it dry first and draw out where the seams are with something that is not going to get washed off. Be very, very careful when polishing. Practice with some cheaper opal. Buy some from one of the rock and gem shows and practice on cheaper pieces, getting the fire out before you experiment on a more expensive piece. And with that, I am going to thank you all. And I hope you enjoyed this show. Please let me know what you thought. Give me your comments. I love to hear from you. Until next time, remember, rockhounds don't die. We petrify. And I think I lost my podcast part of it due to that alarm. All right.